And I think sometimes as educators, maybe you're not using the right language for what you are doing in your role. It's not that you are teaching a classroom of 30 kids. You're teaching, right? You're managing, you're leading, you're working in a multifunctional team, you're doing that work that really are the skills that employers are looking for. And so using, I think, the language, and this is increasingly important, frankly, in the age of AI. The vast majority of employers, not at InnovateEDU, but the vast majority of employers are using AI to screen resumes. And so you have to think about what you've been doing in the classroom and what you've been doing, and think about the types of durable skills that employers are looking for. And frankly, they're screening for. So if you're somebody who, and every teacher does this, I think, uses data to inform decision making, make sure that, in that first paragraph on your resume, you're saying like data-driven decision maker, data informed, like think about the sets of skills that you've built. That's one thing. So it's sort of how you market yourself and how you market yourself for a job maybe outside of education, if that's your choice. And so it's a little bit of translating the experience you're having in the classroom into the types of skills, competencies, and dispositions that are in that job description. The second thing I think is, I watch this happen all the time with educators, is that like if they don't have 10 of 10 of the skills that are listed on the job, they won't apply for the job. Don't do that. Like, if you have 6 of 10, go for it. Like, you should go for it if it's something that you're passionate about. Always try to network to a role. If you know you want to leave the classroom, start doing informational interviews in companies or in sectors or with people who will get to know you and will get to who will have a reference conversation with you. And then when you apply or you reach out to them, either if you're applying for a role at their company or something that's tangential, they will make a recommendation. I do this all the time for my fellows in EdSafe or in the emerging leaders cohort. I always, if they're applying for a role and they reach out to me and say, I've applied for this role, I'm always happy to make that call, especially now in the age of AI, so that their resume can be looked at by a human, not just by AI. I do that all the time. And so ask people to do that for you. So many times we're like scared to ask somebody to speak up on our behalf or to do that. Just do that. The other thing I think I see, and this is a mistake I see folks make in education and outside education, and it happens all the time, where people will put down folks for references and then they won't talk to the person about the job they're applying for. Do that.
Yes.
Like, you need to talk to the person who is going to be called about the job that you are applying for, because, it is so important. Oftentimes at InnovateEDU, we're down to 2 or 3 great candidates at the end. And our team, there's not never, but like, it's very often that we're between 2 people. And the thing that decides for us is when we talk to people who have worked with that person in the past, is those reference checks. I will tell you, it is remarkable to me when people have not picked up the phone, send a text and say, I'm applying for this role. Here's the job description. Can you speak to this? Can you speak to that? This is what I talked about in my final interview. If you want a job, you got to work for it.